Most Greek myths are about mortals fighting fate, only to be crushed by it in the end. But the story of Orpheus is different. With nothing but his lyre, he nearly defeated fate and nearly conquered death. Yet, just one step away from victory, he lost to himself. This isn't just a story about failure, it's a story about falling short at the very last second. And that kind of regret is often more haunting than total despair. The beginning of the story feels like a cruel joke. Orpheus was a prince of Thrace, a musical genius so gifted that even Apollo, the god of the sun, was envious. Legends say his music could stop rushing rivers and make even the stones weep. He possessed godlike talent, yet he couldn't protect his mortal wife. On their wedding day, a tiny, inconspicuous snake in the grass bit Eurydice. It wasn't for revenge, and it wasn't for justice. It was a pure random accident. The bride fell. For a performer, the ultimate horror isn't noise, it's silence. The moment Eurydice stopped breathing, the strings in Orpheus' world snapped. He made a decision that only a madman would make. Since there was no longer a soulmate in this world, he would go to the underworld and take her back. He walked alone into the caves of Cape Tenerum. It was a one-way path strictly forbidden for the living. But in his hand, he held his lyre. In the Greek mind, art is the only thing that can challenge death. And so, we witness the most incredible scene in mythology. Because of his haunting and soulful music, the order of the underworld collapsed. Charon, the ferryman of the Styx, forgot to ask for his coin, and let him board in silence. Cerberus, the three-headed hound, pulled back his fangs and whimpered on the ground. Sisyphus stopped pushing his boulder, and Tantalus, forever thirsty, forgot to reach for the water. Even Hades, the cold-hearted king of the dead, was pierced by this immense grief. The king sighed and waved his hand. Out of the shadows, the silhouette of Eurydice emerged. She was pale, limping slightly because the venom in her foot hadn't yet faded. Hades gave that famous, almost cursed condition: take her. But on the road back to the living world, you walk in front, and she follows behind. Before you step out of the gates of hell and see the sunlight, you must absolutely positively not look back at her. The deal was done. Orpheus turned and began the climb. This would become the longest, most agonizing walk in human literature. If Hades had asked him to slay a beast or move a mountain, I believe Orpheus could have done it. Those are concrete challenges. But the challenge Hades gave him was nothingness. The passage from hell was steep, cold, and silent. Orpheus walked in front, the sound of a living man's footsteps, heavy and clear. But Eurydice, walking behind him, was a ghost, and ghosts make no sound. Doubt began to grow in Orpheus' heart like a weed. First, it was worry. Is she keeping up? Her foot is injured. What if she's fallen behind? Then it turned to panic. Is Hades lying to me? What if Tyr's no one behind me at all? Only empty air? And finally despair. If I make it out, but she's still trapped inside, what was the point of any of this? This psychological torture was devastating. The person you love most is just 3 feet behind you, but you can't look at her, you can't touch her, you can't even ask, are you there? You have to have unconditional faith in the god of death who took your wife in the first place. Finally, a faint light appeared ahead. It was the exit to the human world, the long-lost sun. The chill of hell was fading, and the air smelled like soil again. Just as Orpheus put one foot out of the cave, his body half bathed in sunlight. Maybe it was ecstasy, wanting to share this moment of rebirth with her. Maybe it was the long-repressed fear finally exploding, desperate for a single look of confirmation. In that second, Orpheus forgot he was a hero on a mission. He became a vulnerable, insecure human again. Instinctively, he turned his head. He saw her. She was right there, so close, her arms reaching out. But the moment their eyes met, the contract was activated. An invisible force seized her. She didn't scream, and she didn't blame him. Her eyes were just filled with an infinite, haunting sadness. Her body dissolved like smoke, falling back into the bottomless abyss of darkness. Only her final faint whisper drifted in the wind. Goodbye. Orpheus lunged forward frantically, but he embraced only the void. This time, no matter how beautifully he played his lyre, the ferryman never appeared again. You only get one chance. Many people read this and sigh, if only he had held on for just one more second? But there is a profound insight that captures the truth. Orpheus looked back, because he didn't trust the gods. But he loved humanity too much. If Orpheus were a precision machine, capable of suppressing all longing and doubt to walk out of that cave coldly, then he wouldn't be the artist who could play such divine music in the first place. His weakness was the very proof of his devotion. He would rather risk losing her than not know she was there. Orpheus lost, but that single look back has become the most tragic and moving moment in history. Because in that second, he proved that seeing her was more important than life itself.